Hello Rangers, Rebel Games here again, and we are back in Wasteland 3, and today we are doing a brawler build. Or at least we're going to be talking about the weapons and the armor that I put onto my brawler, as well as the mods that I use for the brawler. And then we'll go into a little bit of the build, although there is a really good build already out there by the Critically Clueless, so I will leave a link to that video in the description down below, and you can kind of go into that and see how you want to build. So, at a high level, so we have our Daredevil Brawler here, level 24. Again, we're kind of starting into the late game in Wasteland 3, so we're fairly well along our route. And you can kind of see we have prioritized strength and coordination, and then intelligence, and then finally speed has been maxed out. So after this, maybe awareness, or actually probably luck. We'll probably prioritize into luck or awareness. Right at this point, this build is pretty much done, and everything after this is just kind of icing on the cake. So, so enough about the builds. Just from a quick skill standpoint, again, brawling. This is she's our hard ass, as well as has done lockpicking, and then we're starting to crank up Animal Whisperer to try and get some better pets. And a little bit of weird science. We need the 3 points in weird science. That's critical because we are going with the exoskeleton suit. Obviously, this is the best brawler armor out there. It comes with the melee damage bonus across all of these pieces. So you get 15% off the head, you get 20% off of the chest, and you get another 15% off of the legs. So really, really good for those brawler builds, obviously. So on the head, what we have done is we're going with the headgear platform armor mod. So this gives us a +2 armor, which is all right. But the reason why I grabbed this is the plus 50% status effect resistance. And the reason why we're doing that is this person is out in the front, is in the midst of all these enemies all the time, always surrounded by folks. So we want to get a lot of good resistances. So if there's anyone dropping poison bombs or anything like that, or if she accidentally trips a mine as she's running up forward, she has some of that resistance there to keep her from getting injured. And the cost of that is just a little bit of a 5% hit chance deduction, which when we go looking at it, it's really not that big of a deal. So going on to the next piece, the chest piece. So for this one, we went to the polycycline barrier, sure, however you pronounce that. This one is a +1 armor, but the big piece here is you get that 30% across cold, energy, fire, and explosive. So again, really focus at this point with this armor. There's got so much armor on her that I'm really prioritizing getting those resistances up, so that you know, when again out in the middle of those things, we're not going to be affected by poison or explosives, someone throwing a Molotov cocktail at her, whatever. You know, don't have to worry about catching fire as much. So that's really the core of these mods in here, is to get that on there. Okay, cool. And then on the legs, so again, she's over here. There we go. We use the personal drive on there. Again, the whole core of the brawler build is to get as far into the middle of the enemies as possible and start beating the crap out of them. So yeah, so we go with the combat speed +4. Or plus 0.4, sorry, and the and a +1 armor. So that really gives her some really good combat mobility as we go through. So that's the armor. So really, really good. And then of course she's my hard ass person, so we got the veteran ranger star for right now. We may sub that out for something else later on, but for right now that's what she's using. Now, for weapons, we have 2 power gauntlets. That's what we can find right now that are kind of best in slot for what we're doing. So you'll notice there's a little bit of damage differential on these ones. So for this first one, her primary... actually, no, I'm sorry. This is the second one. So this is the weapon that I usually lead off with. And so we got the 15% crit chance, which is really great. And then we throw in the razor box. So you get this really, really early on, but it takes 10 weapon modding to actually put it on anything. So, but the neat thing is it's 50% chance to apply bleeding, and bleeding is actually really, really nice if you don't quite kill the person, usually the bleeding will take them out on the next round after they make their move. So we throw this one in, and what we do is we have a 50% chance to apply bleeding. That's a pretty good chance. Usually if it hasn't applied within 2 or 3 shots, you know, it's going to apply to the next one. So usually in about the first 2 to 3 hits with my brawler, the bleeding gets applied, and then I switch over to the other gauntlet that I'm using, and that's this one here. And this one just has the +8 damage weight, the Grand Slam weights, as well as the 15% crit chance. So again, a little more damage on this guy, but doing the brawling thing to build up the combo meter and just doing massive amounts of damage. So what does this all look like? So she's sitting at 59 armor. Next, just pull up the stats here. So again, we prioritize strength, so she's sitting at max strength, 535 con, as well as she gets 115% healing bonus. That's great. Starts off with 10 action points. And of course, with the brawling, we've gotten all the way out to get the perks of Flurry of Blows. We prioritize getting this as soon as possible, so I focused everything into brawling so I can get out to this Flurry of Blows. Sorry, I can't talk today. Flurry of Blows perk, which reduces the brawling attack cost to by -1, which brings all of her hits down to 1. So it only takes 1 action point to swing a punch. Great, because that's 10 shots there if she's standing right next to somebody. She's got 128% hit chance with a 52% crit chance and a 2.1x crit damage. That's really, really good. 6 pen. She's not really doing any sneak attack damage. I'll have another character that does the sneak attacks. With 59 armor, 38% evasion. This is where she starts to shine. 38% evasion, 10% crit resistance. It's all right. But then 30% across fire, cold, energy, and explosives, and then an 85% status effect resistance. So really, really resistant to a lot of different things. So she can take a lot less damage from some of those AE effects, as well as the ability for them to poison her or anything like that is really, really low. Now, melee damage bonus, 200%. So that's huge. She's smacking the crap out of things when she's hitting them with melee. And then the rest of this is not so bad. 45% initiative, detection times 2.3. Not really worried about that. Combat speed 3.7. So when she goes to run across the battlefield, she is flying, just zipping along there. So that's really the key. So her whole strategy here is to run in and start wailing on people. And then also the other interesting piece about this is because she's serial killer as well, whenever she kills somebody, she gets that +3 action points, and that's basically 3 more attacks. Or she can run over and smack somebody else if she killed that person. So that's really, really good. So that's kind of how you play her a little bit. And of course, she takes the lethal weapon mod too. So that's pretty typical for most brawler builds. But yeah, so she's just bouncing around, hitting people, applying bleeding, and then critting them out until they're down. So that is the brawler build with all of the mods and the stats. If you like this video, please leave a like down below. If you have any comments about how you did your brawler build, or how you did things differently, or what new different mods that you had on your brawler build, please leave a comment down below and share those. Share them where I can improve this brawler build. That'd be great too. I'm always looking to do it. This guy, she does a ton of damage out there, and she's kind of one of my primary ones that kind of goes out as a meat shield, but she also beats the crap out of things too. So so pretty cool. So leave those comments down below. Let me know how I could maybe do this differently. And then of course hit subscribe and a little bell icon, and you get notified when I release new videos like this. And until then, everyone, have a good one. I will see you later. Goodbye. My eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. He's trampling out the vintage where the grapes are at the store. He'll loose the